Forward Squad podcast where we focus on having real conversations over lovely charcuterie and wine. My name is Rhonda Richard Smith, and I'm here with my good friends Nicola and Summer. And today we are going to be talking about having it all.
We're going to need a lot of wine for having it all.
We are going to need a lot of wine.
That's okay. We have plenty
and some
of wine.
juice.
No juice. Today, our board for having it all is a having it all board. It's a little bit of everything. My very favorite candied pecans. They're so good. Please do try them.
I was waiting to dig in. I was trying to be respectful.
The blue cheese blueberry log, which adds a little bit of sweetness to the saltiness and sweet of the nuts. Mm. We've got, of course, the raspberries for color. I have our standard cheese. We've got green grapes. We've got rosemary crackers, chocolate-covered pretzels, and the highlight of the board is the black truffle Monterey Jack cheese. Also really good on hamburgers for future, if anybody's interested. The black truffle Monterey Jack cheese. And then we've got green pears. That's our board today.
These grapes are so good.
They're really sweet and juicy. It's good.
Where'd you get these from?
I got those from Ralph's supermarket.
Okay, Ralph's.
So ladies, what does having it all really mean? I always hear about having it all. I think everyone sometimes has a different definition of what that means. So what does that look like for you when we say having it all?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Nope.
What it means to have it all. I don't think any of us have figured out what it means to have it all. I know what I thought it was going to be in my life. Like, you know, when you're a kid and you're like, I'm going to have a great job, an amazing husband, and perfect kids, big, huge, clean house, you know, all the things, all the social activities. That was what I was hoping having it all was going to look like. And in reality, you know, for me, looks very different. Looks very, very different. I think that, you know, we grew up in the age of Martha Stewart, where she was kind of, you know, bringing back the, you know, doing everything at home, baking everything from scratch and making sure your home looked beautiful and perfect. And then we have HGTV, which again is a very generational thing. And that society has really told us, I think, that we have to have this perfect looking life. And so I don't know about you two. I do know about you two because I know what your homes and lives look like, and that we all really strive to make our lives look like what we think it's supposed to be. And it's just, it's very hard. The juggle is real.
I don't know that it's sustainable. I don't know. What do you think?
And the boss, that term boss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boss, yeah.
And I won't use the word
yes,
boss,
yeah.
You know what?
Right.
I'm like, who made that up?
Yeah. Somebody, a man.
No.
Man made that up.
Listen.
No woman made that up. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Don't give me the title of boss this and then put expectations on it. And now I'm supposed to conquer the world, be CEO, mom of the year,
Supermodel,
not have any mental issues,
mom of the year. You better bake those goods too
we're
gonna
go to
PTA
the
mom. For the PTA, you better have those. They better not be from the store.
Some things.
Yes.
You don't want me baking your stuff. This mom is not in the kitchen. We want to take a moment to shout out our sponsor today, Kyle Dono, who's off camera, very cute and taken. He's our audio engineer, and he is amazing. Got us with the Oprah light over here. Today we are talking about having it all, and we've already talked, you know, in length earlier about societal pressures, and now we, you know, are moving into redefining success, which is a huge topic, I think, for women, and what that looks like, especially for African American women, you know, who in this age are going to college. You know, we own businesses like nobody else, and we are trying to find our place in society, like where we fit in without husbands sometimes, and there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, you know, to be a breadwinner, to be a mom taking care of things at home, many times single, and, you know, as a married woman looking at that and look, you know, seeing my mom and how she did a lot of that stuff alone First of all, I don't know how she did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom
Kudos
did too.
to any woman out there bossing it up. I don't know why I said bossing it up after I just said.
That's okay.
But out there doing your thing,
Yep.
you know, chasing your career, and having to do all of that with the pressure of being like this, you know, perfect
Diva.
you know, yeah,
for
just
sure.
all those things. And you know, I find that being a business owner and trying to pursue success has been incredibly challenging, because when I think about all of the things, the pressures I put on myself to have this really lucrative business, and not just that, but because we have social media, for it to be popular and to have this image that looks good, there's like all this stuff that comes with it. And I'm like, well, listen, one of these things is gonna have to go.
Right.
Yeah.
One of these things is going to
No,
fall off
one
the
of these
list.
things have to, yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, what do you guys think?
Success looks so different for me now, I feel like, versus in my 20s or even my 30s. Success looks very different in terms of like my time. I just like freedom when it comes to my time and energy.
Yeah.
And I felt like kind of
That's a
like
good one.
climbing the ladder and trying to establish myself. It took a lot out of me, but I had all the energy in the world to kind of burn. And as I've gotten older, it's what I've wanted has really changed. So I don't necessarily want to feel like I'm on the hamster wheel. My hope is that a lot of the work that I did in my 20s and 30s, I can really build upon that in my 40s and not have to feel like I'm on the hamster wheel for everything. Sometimes it means saying no,
Yes.
just so that I have an afternoon to myself. And there was a time when, you know, it's like the price is right, it makes sense, it's an opportunity that I want to take advantage of, I'm going to do it. But there are times now where I'll just say no, because I think that my time and energy is more important. And I really value my time and energy on a different level now, I feel like, in my 40s.
So when you were talking about no, that for me is like, that has been a big thing in redefining success. Like, just learning to say no has been a real big challenge.
And it takes its toll on us emotionally when we don't say no. And there's a lot of pressure to say yes in so many different ways as moms, as partners. There's a lot of pressure to say yes. We like to talk about self-care.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to dishing out a no, it's like, right?
And also, I think knowing when to say no. I think I've made a lot of personal sacrifices at home to say yes at work. That is a kind of a characteristic that has truly defined the beginning and middle of my career. So I do feel, same as you, that I've come to a place in my career where I am learning that the saying no to work is a very important thing to do, so that you can say yes at home.
Yes.
And understand that you don't have to chase that, golden ticket. Because when you do, you're going to lose, something. There's always a give and take. You're never going to have 100%. And it's like, where do I need that 100% more? And as I'm aging, I'm learning that I want that 100% to happen more at home than at work.
No,
Because you can't be both. You can't be everything to everyone. And as my kids are getting older, and I'm realizing how time passes so quickly, it is really teaching me to learn to say, like, I'd like to say yes to this opportunity, but if I do, I'm going to miss out on such and such, this soccer game, this track meet. So,
And when saying no, I feel like you often find more success. You really train yourself
yes.
to be able to say no, and to add in the things that are meaningful, and to put your focus into the things that you have more impact.
And
that
to be
have
more in
impact.
demand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get more space, more room
Yeah.
to do what you actually want to do.
And you really like kick out that whole fear of missing out, the FOMO.
Yes,
absolutely.
It's like
Like-
a great way to get rid of that. Yeah.
That's right. True story.
Absolutely.
True story.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to play a really fun game that I like to play. I play with myself all the time. You might not think it's a fun game, Rhonda. You might say, like, this is a very unhealthy game that you play in your mind, but I do. So in terms of having it all, something I do is I'll ask myself, would you rather? Like, at home, my husband he's wonderful. He's very involved. We share a lot of home tasks, but perhaps it might be nice, if maybe I had to do everything and he were a millionaire. Billionaire. That is a would you rather. Would you rather have like a billionaire husband who really was very hands off? Or would you rather have a sweet, amazing, wonderful husband who is very hands-on and very partnering with you at home? No comment.
No, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
No one wants to say
The
it on
episode
camera.
is having it all, right? Why can't we have it all in this scenario?
Oh, it's a thing. And so
Listen, Linda. We can have, okay, this is, I know, jokey, but seriously, on this side of marriage, I love you, husband, but a billionaire, I'm like, can hire the nanny, can get the cleaner.
We can travel the world.
Take my clothes here. Oh, look, I can hire myself an assistant. Masseuse, just go when I feel like it. Oh, look, nails, I can't go get my nails done. That's okay, they're coming to the house. Like, I mean...
So that answers that question for you.
For me.
I don't mind a billionaire husband. I don't mind.
Okay, so we see where we stand on the would you rather with your husband. Let's talk about our professional careers. In your professional career, especially at this point in our lives, would you rather have a job that is super fulfilling, that just gives you everything you need and fills you up, but takes up all your time, or a job that is super flexible where you just have all the time you want or need, but you feel is like a time waste or dump?
Flexible.
You really?
Flexible.
So at this point in your life, you've decided
Yes.
that the flexible is, because this is a question I'm asking myself a lot these days, the flexibility and the time is more important to you than the getting your cup filled for your career.
Absolutely. Because I again, in my early 20s, I focused a lot on fulfillment coming through my job. And, and I love my job and I do find a lot of purpose with my job. But over time, I've learned it's really important that I'm getting a lot of those feelings from my home life, from my friends, from my family, and cultivating that. And I don't want to be so heavily dependent on work to give me that. So I would prefer to have my flexibilities so that way I have more time and energy for my friends and family and like what matters most to me.
Okay, one last very vain would you rather question. Would you rather
Get the work done. Just kidding.
Would you rather be able to make the most amazing, delicious, superb baked goods in the world, but be frumpy? Or be fabulous and a terrible baker?
Fabulous with the terrible bacon. That's every single time.
What other answer is there to that question? I want to be fabulous.
Listen.
So we've learned a lot today about our board squad ladies. They want to be fabulous, they want to be rich, and they don't care about anything else.
And creating this board doesn't take baking. I can make boards and I can cook. I don't have to bake. So today we talked all about having it all and some of the societal pressure that we feel. We also talked about redefining success for ourselves in business and as mothers, which I think is incredibly important. So the next episode of our podcast is going to be focused on some of our favorite things. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yep. Thank you for tuning in. Please follow and subscribe at The Board Squad on all our social media platforms. We cannot wait to see you next time for more charcuterie and conversation.
Bye.
Bye.